I'm Donna Balzer, and I am going to build for the first time today a really cheap arbor. And I'm doing that because I've had more expensive arbors. As you know, if you follow me, Helpful Husband is totally willing to build anything for me, but I want to go simple. I want to do something that's going to help me grow things like great big squash, and instead of them taking over my whole garden, and when you see my squash, you'll see that they've grown out of their Hugelkultur down the path, and they're heading towards the strawberries, so they just want to travel. So what do we need? Well, we went shopping and we looked at the different things available. Luckily, I'm working with Robyn, West Coast gardener, and she has already built one. So she told me right away, go and pick up the cattle panel. Now my friend Patty calls it a horse panel, same thing, different names. So that's what we hope to do today. Install the cattle panel, get it just built into our garden so that when I have an open house at my garden, I can take off a piece of fence, people can walk right through. They'll feel like they're under this glorious canopy of squash, and we'll build that today. So thankfully, I've got the help of Helpful Husband today, because we're getting the T-bars put into the ground so that they can support our vertical garden. If you don't have them well into the ground, well, it's going to fall over in the next big windstorm. So Helpful Husband has got his sledgehammer. You can also use a fence pounder, but he's using his sledgehammer and he's going to finish up this job. I know, and it hurts. Okay, it's really important that the T-bar is actually level. So we've got a level here. We're going to attach it onto the side so that it's level in the row, but it's also level within the row. Okay, I'm going to lean it a bit more this way. And look, I don't even have to hold it. And that's looking really good. It's perfect.
What's going on here? What's the problem?
Okay, so we brought the cattle panel home in our utility trailer, as you saw, and it got a bump in it that we don't like. And that we're trying to work out now by bending it the other way. And if we don't work it out now, we'll probably be able to straighten it a bit later, but this is what we're doing with it on the road right now. So this will be the top.
Okay.
This is the top.
Okay.
Keith will be our supervisor. I see I lost my job. You guys okay on that end?
Okay, take it.
Okay, this would be impossible for one person to do. Robyn used 2 people when she did hers. We've got 4 people, so this is gonna work. Yeah, try not to walk all over my garden, Keith. Gosh.
Bend it up in the middle and walk towards this body.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it looks good. And I thought it was a bit too high. So Robyn's just reminded me that at this stage, if Patty was to let go, we could have there's a lot of tension on here. We have just bent a 16-foot long piece of wire, and it's still a bit wonky. We're going to still work on that, but just be careful at this stage. Hang on to it. Patty's got a firm grip on the rebar or T-bar as well as the trellis. We're looking for maximum strength, and these are just small plastic ties. So we're going to put these in place now, replace them almost right away with wire ties. So I'm just attaching the plastic tie now because I want it to hold the T-bar to the frame so that we can get it nicely secured in position. We don't expect these plastic ties to last very long, so we're going to replace them later with the wire ties. But this is just a placeholder for now.
Get it nice and tight.
I do love these ties. That was a great idea, Robyn.
Yeah.
I like how they really do cinch it up. They really do hold it together.
They're very strong.
Well, these trellis are perfect for squash or pumpkins, things that are going to grow rampant in your garden. But you know, you can also grow things like beans. I've got some fabulous, really fast growing beans, green beans and yellow wax beans. I've also got tomatoes that will easily clamber 10 or 20 feet in the air. So tomatoes would be lovely wrapped over here, and then you'd get the clusters of fruit dripping down. So grow cucumbers, squash, beans, peas, anything that's wanting to be vining that you're going to want to support in any way will be just perfect. Some people would prefer to grow some flowers or to mix in flowers. Well, in that case, you can do sweet peas, or this year I tried the love vine, which I really liked. But you can also do climbing nasturtiums. So there's flowers, there's vegetables, there's so many things you can grow on a trellis.